Living historians spoke with WTVA 9 News during a recent reenactment.
We do this to basically make sure that that history stays alive and it's not forgotten. A lot of people, they see monument here and there, they don't even know why it's there. We do this basically so that you can keep the history alive, and that's one reason why they call us living historians.
Right. Being on the real ground is always inspiring. We do a lot of reenacting, but there are not many that you get to do on the actual ground. So that's a touch point that's important. It's a beautiful park, and I'm glad I started reenacting here when that little monument was all that was here. So that there's so much here preserved and interpreted so well is a wonderful thing.
I think stuff like this is necessary both as a historian and as Americans. This is part of our history, the good and the bad. Yes, bad things happen, but a lot of good came from it too. And not only how we learn from it, but also how we honor those who fought and died is events like this.
All three show that effort, time, and passion goes into bringing history to life. Anderson came from Arizona, a 24-hour drive.
Size is a big thing. There's nowhere near as many people. There was only one Civil War battle in Arizona that we do, but then we do other smaller events in the area around there. It's amazing, and you can read about it in books, you can watch about it on television and stuff, but when you are here and you're experiencing it, only then do you truly understand what they were talking about.
When I was at 155th Shiloh, I was there. My company was held in reserve, and we watched units in front of us march down into a field and all that's covered in fog, and the men marched into the fog and they disappeared. And all you can see is muzzle flashes, gunfire, men yelling, and you're out there in wheatgrass up to your waist and all that, and it's just barely getting morning, and you just get chills. That's the same ground that over 35,000 men died on, and you're right there, and you feel like you was there.
And for Honeycutt, one battle helped change his life.
I met my wife doing this.
Really?
I met her at the Battle of Port Hutchins shooting at her.
Really?
And they say, we always make the joke, what other hobby lets you kill your wife and get away with it?
Despite being enemies, the two found love through a dance that same night.
In a year from the time we met her, I proposed to her on the same battlefield where I met her at.
They now have a 3-year-old son that they hope will someday join them on the battlefield. And for Anderson and Honeycutt, their passions each had an origin story.
My dad was a Civil War reenactor. He lived out here, Mississippi, Tennessee area. So I grew up reenacting.
Honeycutt said history has always been interesting, but added having an ancestor who served in the Confederate Army in North Mississippi helped. Tristan Stoop, Lee County, WTVA 9 News.
Good to see you, sir.